stand down here. So. First of all, I want to thank everybody involved, John at BVP, Beth with economic development, and all the economic development directors I've spoke to in Boise and in other cities as we've been trying to figure out exactly where we want to expand to. We are a family-run business. We'd be completely family-run, but we ran out of family, so we had to start hiring other people. And we started out in the garage. I was a corporate guy, worked for Sprint Nextel. That's how I discovered this area. I launched the Boost Mobile cell phone program up here for Sprint 10 years ago, about 8-10 years ago. And my stepson, who's out there somewhere, Kamran, he convinced me one day that we should take up homebrewing as a hobby. And I was kind of looking for some kind of a parachute clause to get out of Sprint, because the handwriting was on the wall and I was going to be 50 and I didn't want to be looking for a job. So we started homebrewing with my brother and him and myself, and we started passing beer out to some of the neighbors, and they started giving us great feedback. And then I started trying to convince my wife, you know, could this be a reality? And I kind of got some stern looks, and I said, well, can I work in the garage? And she goes, yes, but you know, you're not going to turn it into a man cave or anything like that. So I said, well, you know, this could be a viable thing if we just take our time and we figure out how to do it. So she afforded me the opportunity to spend a lot of money to build a really nice homebrew system. That's why we have the train on the shirts, by the way. So Kamran and I went to the 2007 GABF, and we ran into a master brewer for Stone Brewing, and his name is Lee Chase, and he was the original brewer at Stone. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Stone, but they're a big brewery, the biggest in Sierra Nevada, now in California. So I sat and I talked to him, and he said he was going to leave Stone and become a consultant. And I thought, wow, this is a really great opportunity for me to hire this guy and have him come into my house and teach me how to do better at what is currently a hobby, but I want to become a profession. And he agreed. And so we formed an 18-month agreement, and he would come and brew in my garage, and Kamran and my brother and I would stand around like little kids going, wow, look, we got a master brewer brewing on my homebrew system that makes 10 gallons of beer. Well, a year later, we opened our business in a 2,000 square foot building with a system that made 26 gallons of beer at a time. So we did everything caveman style, and it's not unlike every small guy that wants to get into this business. We have 65 of them in San Diego. San Diego now has 110 microbreweries just in San Diego. I think the state of Idaho has 50 or 51, but they all start at some level, and it's usually without the tools you need to really make a great product. But what you got to keep doing is you got to keep doing it not for the money, but you do it for the passion, and then it becomes an artistic thing that you follow. And if you're smart and you invest in tools as you grow, the dream can come true. It did to us. In 5 years, we've become the 6th largest brewery in San Diego County, and we'll do 22,500 barrels of beer this year. So, and that's just in California. So we thought, you know, we're at the point we want to expand, and my wife and I we love California. We've lived there our whole life. But unfortunately, California is not the state I grew up in. It's changed, and it's not a business-friendly state. So we started looking at states that were business-friendly, and we looked in Oregon, and we looked in Washington, and we looked in Idaho. But I purposely, the owners, I brought them into the decision-making process, but I saved Idaho for last because I knew a lot about it. I knew more about Idaho than the other 2 states. And when I reached out to Janet and got the help that she gave me that could convince the owners that this was the right move, it was easy. We had one owners meeting, and they all said we're going to Idaho. We just didn't know where. So that's when we started looking seriously. And it's so funny because I brought my head brewer here, and everybody thinks, you know, you just fall in love with Boise. It's hard not to. But it's like our story in San Diego. We didn't want to be right down there with everybody else in a big group. We wanted to start something that's visionary, that makes people come out to you. And that may never happen here. People just may not drive 15 miles from outside of Nampa to come visit us. But you know what? I believe that if we build it, eventually they'll come. And if not, it's a production facility anyways. we're going to produce a lot of beer, a lot of great beer, and we're going to service of the Western United States, and hopefully we're going to help downtown Nampa, and we're going to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with all the other breweries in Idaho and help the small guys just like I got help from the big guys, and just be part of the community, because I'm overwhelmed with how happy and friendly people are here, and you just don't run into people like that in California. There's happy people there, granted, but there's always some agenda, and out here it just seems like people are here to enjoy. It's an active lifestyle state, and it's just a fun place to be, and I just can't give a smile off my face. I just wish the time would get here sooner that we'd open. So again, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Again, thank you to everybody. Thank you guys all for coming, and I really look forward to spending the next 30 years here and retiring here. So thank you.